is your Frontier opening bell this Thursday, the 24th of November. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the program. This is how we're getting started. The biggest jump, single day uptick on the Nigerian stock market since 2021. Occurred yesterday, roughly 3%. On the back of a big jump by two of Nigeria's listed companies, Dangote Cement and Boa Cement, the first and the second largest cement makers. We got a few gains in the banking sector as well and the rest of the market, but those two huge industry giants lifted the market above 44,000, crossed 45,000, crossed into 46,232. The market moved very strongly. That brought the Nigerian exchange NGX All-Share Index to a stronger, roughly 5-6% index year-to-date return on Wednesday. That was the markets. Congratulations, back in the bullish territory. But let's get on to the rest of the market, because it wasn't such a positive trading day, with a BRVM with the composite printing 15 basis points in the red, while the Egyptian market continued that choppy start of the week on Sunday yesterday by 18 basis points. It's a different story in Kenya, where the Nairobi market went up by 20 basis points as we got news of some innovative flotation of certain app which will allow you to do business on the Nairobi securities market and the financial system, which was floated yesterday. And of course, the South African stock market went up roughly 1%. That the GSE solid 72,000, got a few more notches above that. And today is the big day, interest rate decision day by the South Africa Reserve Bank. The rand was trading stronger on the US dollar early today ahead of those announcements they were expecting from the central bank governor later in the day. Let's keep that in mind. Economists are forecasting that the SARB will do another 50 basis point hike later today. Keep that in mind. Let's move on quickly to East Africa and grab a couple of headline news just to get your Thursday running. The Bank of Uganda, which is the central bank, has warned that there's a crisis looming over the country's finances as debt's now around 80 trillion shillings. And South Sudan, it says, is ready for that package from the IMF. It's an emergency loan that IMF is handing over to South Sudan, just as Malawi is also getting about $88 million from the IMF. What South Sudan is getting about $112 million US, much bigger than Malawi. The problem of food crisis in South Sudan is a whole lot much bigger than that of Malawi in Southern Africa. Uganda is in the market, global market, looking for commercial loans on the back of that. What I said earlier about the state of the country's fiscal position. And Kenya has proposed a new bill to tax those who want to do crypto business and trading within the country. A few days ago, the CMA, which is the Capital Market Authority, or the SEC, issued notice that it will now start licensing and regulating crypto activities within the Kenyan market. And Anthony Kikuka is now the new managing director of Equity Bank of Uganda, and it takes office with immediate effect. That was 2 days ago. Congratulations. We wish you all the best. Let's get on to the West African markets and the region, where some of the big stories were headlined yesterday by Nigerian president unveiling the newly designed 200, 500, and 1,000 naira notes. The central bank says those notes go into effect with immediate effect yesterday. The initial date set for that was December the 15th. The old currency and the new one will coexist together until the end of January next year, just ahead of the elections in February. The central bank governor, Godwin Emefiele, yesterday explained no one was targeted, it has no political motivation. But for the redesigning of the Naira, said it is targeted at those who are counterfeiting and those who are demanding hundreds of millions of Naira in ransom. Now, the new currency, according to the central bank, has new features that will allow it to be tracked. And now the central bank believes it has its hands on the currency in the market. There will be a piecemeal of withdrawal that you can make the regulations and rules around how much millions you can withdraw at a single go. The tightening of Naira control is here. Now, today, the SEC is holding its fourth quarterly meeting, the final meeting of the year of what's called the capital markets, the CMC meeting with all the securities exchanges, the licensed and registered brokerage institutions, financial advisors, trustees, investment advisors, and everyone else, including legal advisors in the market together today. The high point of today's meeting, which will be the whole day, would be the unveiling of the newly revised master plan, which the Securities and Exchange Commission put before the Ministry of Finance. That has been approved. The Finance Minister is expected today to formally unveil that document. The first document was launched about 12 years ago under Arumauti when she was the Director General of the SEC. Since then, we've seen the Nigerian market change, we've seen the landscape change with fintech, digital economy, and others come into play. So the master plan had been revised to give it a new lease of life. We're going to see all of that and report back to you here on Frontier Opening Bell. Dangote Cement was talking about that earlier. Moved Nigerian market strongly up yesterday. The share price went up roughly 10% on the back of news that the largest cement company on the African continent is doing a share buyback program or repo program that's around $800 million. The market moved the shares of that stock on that news. Gambia tax team are in Monrovia, the capital of Liberia, to see what they can learn in terms of the audit process from the Liberia Revenue Agency, the LRA. In the meantime, Ghana has gotten African Development Fund, which is a fund managed and put aside by the EFDB. That funds about $28 million to support Ghana's agri value chain. It's called the SADP, which is an agri value chain development project or program within Ghana, and that helps the country to produce better in terms of rice, maize, and a few other cereals and other common products that are consumed by Ghanaians. That's part of the help that Ghana is getting as the country faces a very crunching time in terms of currency and inflation. Let's move on to Southern Africa. And I touched on what's to be expected from Leseja Kyangango, the head of the SARB, today when the Monetary Policy Committee decides. Expectations are 50 basis points according to this to Bloomberg. In the meantime, we got South Africa's October inflation surprises with a jump to 7.8%. That will be a bullet in the gun for the SARB to raise rates today. And that'll be the final meeting decision for this year. Yesterday, the Central Bank of Kenya also raised interest rate by 50 basis points to 8.75%, and it's done for the years. So Nigeria raised rate, Kenya did raise rate, and we're expecting South Africa to be the third of the largest economies on the continent to raise rates as we see the end of the year. The United Kingdom is embarking SA's green hydrogen plans with some grants in terms of funding that will be there. South Africa is getting a whole lot of support as President Cyril Ramaphosa makes a state visit to the United Kingdom, meeting with the new Prime Minister and the new King Charles III. Telecom in South Africa saw its profit plunge as about 52% because of competition in the telecom business in South Africa, as well as higher cost of doing business, including the naughty utility issue with Eskom. Now, the Bank of Namibia, which is the central bank, has launched what you call a Financial Cybersecurity Council to help it deal with the emergence of cryptocurrency and cybercrime in the country. Let's take it all up to the North African corridor, and we've got a couple of news for you this Thursday. With Egypt, Total Energies is finalizing 8.16% share acquisition of Libya's Waha. Waha is that energy company in Libya, and Total Energies, which is the French giant IOC, is looking at doing business there. Morocco inflation surged about 6.3% year on year because of food and energy prices climbing, while Europa Oil and Gas says it has no intention to renew its exploration license in Morocco. And finally, the GSK, the GlaxoSmithKline headquartered in Europe, but the Egypt unit says it's paying exceptional dividend. A total of 250.5 million Egyptian pounds is what will be given to these exceptional shareholders of the healthcare company. GSK is taking a second look at its operations in Egypt, North Africa's biggest economy. That's the show Today is Thursday. Thank you for watching, everyone. Go online and watch this show again on Twitter, on YouTube, as well as LinkedIn and Instagram. You can visit our website and read up on all of our stories and watch our videos. They are free on YouTube at frontierafricareports.com. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.